So this is new. I'm excited to announce to you guys that I'm bringing back Morningwood Radio. And what is Morningwood Radio? We started this a couple years ago. Matt Kempson and I actually recorded our first episode the week that the pandemic hit. I'm talking about like March 15th, 2020. And we recorded some really ridiculous shit that I'm happy never went public because honestly, we probably get cooked alive. I still believe in some of those things, but the narrative of the public doesn't. But enough about that. What I'm recording right now, guys, is called Morningwood Radio. I used to do podcasts with Ben Greenfield. I do podcasts every single week with other people around the world. One of my good friends, Savon's got a show. Eddie Ift's got a show. And I've always kind of wanted to have my own show because I'm bored of podcasts. I think that the typical podcast has just kind of gotten washed up and just, I don't know, the flavor's out of the shit. I'm tired of it. These same stories of people listening to Joe Rogan or another one and then trying to tell their own version of that story, I'm over it. So honestly, I'm trying to bring real world experiences to you guys. I'm trying to basically, the motto of the show is fascinating people have fascinating conversations. I'm one of those fascinating people, not going to lie. Got a lot of really cool shit to talk about. I'm going to bring other people in and I'm going to try to do it as often as possible, but let's be totally honest. I don't really have that great organizational skills. So I'm going to have a hard time booking guests often, but when I do get them, it's going to be fucking awesome. So stay tuned. More importantly, what I want to talk to you guys about is, this show right here is going to have a lot of rants and it's going to be a lot of fun. The reason why I wanted Morningwood Radio to be an actual show is because in the morning, as a man, most of my energy is potent during the early hours of the day. I wake up with just a furious amount of energy. That's usually when I do my most inspiring stuff. I do a lot of writing. I do a lot of work. I do a lot of thinking. And it's a great time of day to capture that energy and really bring it to the world. And as the day goes on, I kind of start to get distracted. So typically what you're going to notice is I'm going to wake up really early with a cup of coffee. This right here, I love to talk about what's in my cup. This cup right here is that chameleon coffee that you get. It's like a concentrate and I never water it down. I just put a couple cubes of ice in there and I feel like I'm like through the roof for the first couple hours of the day. It's gnarly shit. The next cup right here, I got Builder Nutrition. It's my hydration company. That really I start out the day with no matter what, just because I need to get water back in my system, electrolytes, BCAA, so I can build these sexy toned muscles. Taurine, just because I want to have that rip shit crazy energy. And what I'm going to do every single day is I'm going to wake up and try to give you guys some of the thoughts that I have when I wake up in the morning, the things that inspire me and hopefully will end up inspiring you. So that's the long-winded rant about what Morningwood Radio is and what we plan on doing in the future. And when I say we, it's a collective. I have a team behind me. I have other people that are going to join in the show. I'm hoping that you guys also collectively get involved in this, meaning that you help share whatever your interests are so that I can help kind of give you guys some feedback, some knowledge, and help take the direction of the day wherever you guys want to take it also, because I am a social person and I understand that YouTube and whatever format that we put this out on is supposed to be called social media. So let's socialize. Let's bring back some good knowledge. Let's communicate and grow this thing together. So the first episode is really going to be about what's next for Hunter McIntyre. Today is July 11th, and it is currently 9:30 in the morning. I wanted to record this earlier, but way too much shit happened. I've been up since 4. Tomorrow, I'm getting on a flight, and I'm going to fly to Europe. And when I say Europe, I'm going to first land in London. Then I'm going to take a 5-hour train ride. First, I fly from here to New York, then get on another plane from New York to London. Then I wake up in the morning at 9 a.m. tomorrow, London time. I'm going to take a 5-hour train to a place called Cornwall, I think. My friend Jason's getting married. That's going to be amazing. I haven't been to more than 10 weddings, less than 10 weddings in my entire lifetime, and 3 of them were my brother. None of my friends have decided to get married. I don't know why. Maybe it's just collectively we're immature. Maybe it's just the women have not been bringing their A game until just recently. Women, you should think about that. And maybe the other reason is because we had too much shit going on. And then all of a sudden COVID stopped the entire world and brought people into basically a nesting phase. And at this point, I guess, people were like, holy shit, like, I guess I really like this person and it worked out pretty well. Like we didn't kill each other. Maybe we should get married. That's what's happened. I'm literally going to 1, 2, 3, 4. And I've also been invited to another wedding in the next 3 months. So I can't make one of them. That's crazy. I mean, basically like my time period of all these weddings being spread out over 33 years has now collectively come down to half that amount of people getting married in 3 months. Nuts. So once that wedding's over, we're going to do the builder tour. As I told you guys before, I have a hydration company. I am super duper diehard about it. I mean, like if I turn the computer over here, I have a library of books that I've just been reading, and I'm obsessed with sports nutrition. I decided to create my own company because I wanted to make serving sizes great again. I'll be honest with you guys. I think that most nutrition companies that you guys are investing in are giving you bullshit. They're giving you 1/10 to like 1/2 of the serving sizes you guys should get to actually have a response, to have performance. If you just like dumping sugar and salt and flavor into your water, so be it. But if you're somebody who's trying to look like a Greek god and perform like an Olympian, you should really care about what you put in your body. I drink beer, but I don't drink beer to fuel for my workouts. When it comes to working out, you got to put the right shit in there. So that's what the Builder Tour is all about. Builder Tour is going to be, we're traveling around to gyms throughout Ireland and the UK, and we are going to basically tell people about what we're doing. We're going to give people an awesome experience. If you buy one of our builder, it's considered a 1-ticket admission to the event. So, it's only going to cost you guys, $45 to come to one of these events. You get a container of our new nutrition hydration company, and you're going to get an awesome experience to hang out with Hunter, George, and my boy, Tom Hogan, the local legend. So we'll be hitting 5 locations. I will share the locations in the notes down below because I can't pronounce like a lot of the names of these towns. It's ridiculous over there. I don't even know what they're trying to say. Like, over here, it's Los Angeles. Over there, it's Cornish Game Wall Hen. Crazy. After the Builder Tour is done, I am going to go over to Germany. I'm going to go meet up with the High Rocks team. We're going to hang out a little bit. And what I'm going to be doing there is kind of the more exciting piece of what's up next for Hunter. I'm trying to get into the Olympics. And when I say trying, like I need to use that word. I don't like creating words that are lesser than my ultimate goal. I'm going to compete at the Olympics, but right now I don't even basically know how to paddle on one of these boats. I'm going for sprint canoeing in the Olympics. I've competed in 3 sports at a high level in my career: Spartan racing, High Rocks, and the CrossFit Games. And during that time, I've done some really crazy shit. I've set some world records. I've had some fun. I've amassed 9 world titles. I thought to myself, what's the one thing that I haven't really done that's really the highest pedigree of sport? And that's the Olympics. My grandfather was a Masters Olympian. This guy right here is kind of the person who started my whole career. And when I say he started my career, he started me off when I was like 10 years old, throwing rocks into the water. And he's like, you should be a thrower. He was a thrower and he was incredible. He decided to pursue being a doctor and being a family man at an earlier age. And then he focused on athletics later on in life. So he kind of did it the opposite way that I'm going to. I'm going to compete in athletics. Then I'm going to start a family. It's in our blood. We are athletes in our family. At least my grandfather was. And honestly, I don't want to end my career without knowing whether or not I could have done it. And I've looked at the Olympics for many years and I've always been like, what am I going to do? How could I get in there? What would I be interested in doing? And over the years, I just kept on watching the Olympics. And for some reason, one of the events that always popped up was sprint canoeing. And I looked into rowing and I was like, I have a fucking ripping hot rowing time. And if I put focus into it, I could definitely qualify for the national time. But you're in the boat with a bunch of other people. And I understand that there's politics to rowing. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be in this position where I get really good, but I didn't go to Harvard, so I'm not going to get into the Olympics. I was on the Princeton row club. Well, if you weren't part of the Harvard, row club, you may not get in because daddy didn't pay $100 million to this, establishment to, basically extradite you through into the Olympics. I'm not saying that's exactly how it happens, but I'm not telling you guys that's not how it happens. I'm winking under my sunglasses. So I thought that was the wrong path to take. I thought that there was, one of my buddies, Paulie, tried to make it into the Olympics for bobsled. And he was like one of the most high performing testing athletes in the procedure of getting into the bobsled team for the Winter Olympics. They screwed Paulie over because there was politics in there. And I just was like, there's too much risk. So I just want to go based off of performance. And in sprint canoeing, there is a 2-man boat, but there's a 1-man boat. And you know me, I'm a 1-man fucking party. I'm a 1-man show and I like to smash. So I thought to myself, I was like, I looked at these guys, they're all between 5'11" and 6'4". Some guy, Stephen Holtz, 6'7". He's like a freaking tank, one of the most manly creatures on the planet. And they've got great engines. They've got great strength endurance. And I was like, that's Hunter McIntyre right there. And I was like, give me a paddle and let me soar like an eagle. So I started looking into it, and I recognized like it's a very, very small sport. So not to say that I'm trying to get the easy path. Like, I was interested before I knew how small the sport was, but I think there's like less than 10 people in the United States that do this thing at a high level. And I've already started working with Rami Zur. He was a multiple-time Olympian in kayaking. And then I started working with, I think it's Jim Terrell. He was a multiple-time Olympian in the sport of sprint canoeing. And I've already had 3 lessons, baby. First lesson, I could barely balance in the boat. I could last in the boat standing still for 6 to 7 seconds. Second lesson, I was paddling like, 50 feet to, 75 feet at a time. The last lesson I did, I covered 200 yards straight. And let me explain this to you guys. This boat is, a little bit more than double my body length. I'm over 6 feet tall, and it's more narrow than the width of my hips. And it's very tiny, and you're a split lunge position and you're only paddling on one side. So first of all, balance is insane. Second of all, once you get into this thing, you actually are able to balance and you start going forward. The worst part about it is you start to spin in circles. I could not figure out how to straighten this thing out and drive in a direction. And then if you think about it, at the high level that these guys are going at, basically, these guys are ripping as hard as they possibly can and steering the boat in a straight line. Incredible stuff. So very technical, very powerful. So I was fully inspired to do this, and I just came off of some really big wins this last season. I'm blessed to be able to have the fitness and the opportunity to compete at a high level. But it's not that I'm not interested in doing that stuff anymore with high rocks and other sports. It's just that I would regret not taking the opportunity to chase my dreams fully. And you know what? If I fail massively, at least I tried. And what is anyone going to do? Put me down because I tried? I was like, come get some. Meet me in a parking lot, bro. I'll knock your teeth in. But if I do succeed, I will show people around the world that there is a path. There is a path even for the greatest challenges. Like if you're just looking at this mountain and it looks like, almost like a vertical line and it's impossible to assume how they get to the top of this thing, someone always starts and has to find a path to the top of this thing. Every mountain has basically been climbed to the top of in this world. And it started with somebody like myself being a crazy person saying that I need to take this on regardless of the potential of failure, to let people know and let myself know that it's possible. And I basically only have 2 years to qualify for the Olympics. I have a lot of background in sport, but I don't have a lot of background in this. So I basically only have a year to really show that I can qualify, because you have to hit a qualifying time within a certain period. I maybe have less than 12 or just over 12 months at this point. And then beyond that, if I somehow freakishly make it to the qualifying time of the Olympics, then I really have to put my time forward to being a competitor and a contender. Now, all of this is about as real as The Hobbit. It's all just a dream at this point. It's something I'm writing down on a piece of paper and making up as I go. But my commitment to you guys who are watching this and anybody who follows what I do on Instagram and competing, I promise you guys, I'm not going to be a pussy about this. I'm going to rip that boat in half. And if I get in the water next to some contenders and I get my shit together, you better recognize that these people are going to regret the day that they met me. No one that's qualified in the United States, except for on the female side, since 2000. We're about to hit the 2023 Olympics, I guess it will be. I'm going to let these people know that America is the greatest nation on this planet when it comes to sports. And I'm going to make them recognize that when I'm in the water, it might as well be a great white shark next to them. So that is basically what is on the horizon for Hunter McIntyre. And I'm going to try to keep you guys updated, give you guys some interesting stories along the way. If you like taking in this long form content, keep on watching, because honestly, I'm investing my time into this, not because I'm trying to make money out of it. It's because I like storytelling. I'm sitting in a room by myself right now, guys. So the only way for me to really recognize that you guys are paying attention is give me a little engagement back. And if you're interested and have questions, hit me in the comments below. This is going to be awesome. I promise I'm going to bring you guys some good shit. It's not going to be always so consistent. It's not going to land on any specific day for you guys, but trust me, when it does come out, it's going to be worth listening to. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is the rebrand and the re-beginning of Morningwood Radio. And I want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back.